Alright, good evening ladies. In today's video I want to talk about one of the most slept on projects on the entire Solana ecosystem in my opinion right now, and that is Time.Fun. I want to explain exactly what it is and why I'm interested in it at this very moment. So ever since Friendtech came out, I always knew there was a spark with this Socialfi crypto narrative. Like, there was something with Friendtech that it just really worked, but just the team and the execution, they didn't follow through with it, and it just died off. And I think now, like, I've been waiting for something, and there's been a few attempts at it to kind of replicate that in a good way, and I think this is the best attempt at it so far, and it's Time.Fun. I do think the risk to reward on trying out this platform is extremely good. Like, there is a good chance that it might not go anywhere, it might not take off, but because you're getting in at such a early, like, the valuations on some of these creators is so low that the downside is very limited, but the upside is enormous. So it might not take off whatsoever. However, if it does, like, yeah, it could do extremely well. Adding on to that, there will be an airdrop. There's a points program that's just launched, which I'll talk about towards the end of the video as well. So what exactly is Time.Fun? So if you remember with Friendtech, you can invest in people, and that gave you access to a group chat. Similarly, other Socialfi apps were similar ideas. You can invest in people early, and the idea is if you invest in someone early, like an influencer is going to take off, a musician that's, you know, just wrote a really good song, and you think they're going to be that's kind of a dream with it. Eventually they're going to be the next Taylor Swift or something, and access to them is going to be worth so much more in the future. That's the kind of idea with Socialfi. Or with Time.Fun now, there are a number of different categories, but one of the ones I find most interesting, or a couple of the ones that I find very interesting, is the investor category. So you can see some of these investors like in the Solana ecosystem. This is just an example, but Kyle Samani, one of the early investors in Solana, as well as a number of different very profitable investments, and you know, Chao Wang from Alliance DAO, he's actually backing this project. So you can see there's a lot of, you know, Solana aligned people, like all the top Solana chads are using this platform. Like, it's not, Time.Fun didn't put these people there. These people signed up to it themselves, and it's linked to their Twitter, so you know it's legit. But Kyle Samani, as an example, right now to purchase one of his minutes is 20 cents. So if you wanted an hour of his time, you could buy an hour of his time for $12. Like, that's minimum wage in a second world country kind of, you know, value that you're getting for one of the, like, I don't know how much he's worth, but worth hundreds of millions probably, access to that investor. Like, you could pitch him your startup, you can send him direct messages, ask him questions about your portfolio, whatever, for $12 for an entire hour. The other nice thing about Time.Fun, like, obviously the most scarce resource in the entire world is time, people's time. Like, Warren Buffett would give all his money to have another 50 years of time. Time is the most valuable resource, and that's what Time.Fun, that's what you're investing in people. So you can actually buy people's and trade people's time. And because it's so early right now, a lot of these people's time is valued so like obscenely low for what it's actually worth. So that's why I think the downside with trying out this platform is quite low. Like, a lot of these influencers, they get like 100 DMs a day on Twitter, and they have to filter out through so much crap to find an interesting DM or one that they would actually like to respond to. So if you want to stand out from that and you actually want to show that you have something interesting to say or something important, you could just buy their minutes, and then you actually have access. So, like, what you're actually investing when you're buying these people's minutes is actually something of fundamental value that people would be willing to trade and people would be willing to buy after you invest in it, if you get what I mean. So there's actually like fundamental value being exchanged here, which is people's time. So you can either redeem the minutes, or you can just, you know, speculate on them and trade on them, because that's all crypto is kind of good for. It's for tokenizing basically anything, and right now they're trying to tokenize people's time. And it's not just DMs, so the creator can set up video calls, they can set up just normal calls, they can set up a group chat. So there's different functionalities that you can incorporate into Time.Fun. And as you can see, the UX on Time.Fun is really nice. It's the best UX out of any Socialfi crypto app that I've seen so far. And on top of that, it's built on Solana, so it's just a lot cleaner being built on Solana. And all these minutes are they're actually real coins that you can trade on a DEX. So they're like, it's 100%, it's not a closed system, it's 100% decentralized as well, in the fact that the minutes themselves can be purchased on a DEX anywhere. So as you can see, there's a number of different categories that you could have a filter through. So you have stuff like founders, influencers, investors, athletes, musicians, etc., etc. Probably the one that I find the most interesting is investors. The reason being is, like, if you wanted to pitch a startup to one of these guys, like, a lot of the time it's very hard to book a call with them. Like, their time, like, it's hard to get through to them because a lot of people want access to their time in order to pitch their startup idea or to get them to invest in their project. Whereas here on Time.Fun, you could pitch a startup to some of these people just through a direct message or through a video call for an extremely low price. And like I said, all of these people have signed up and have agreed to, be on the receiving end of this. And if they don't respond to your message or don't respond to whatever you're DMing them, then you get your money back. So it's not like there's no, you won't lose any money if they don't respond to you. Now, obviously you want to be investing in the people who are like most likely to respond and who are actually using this platform a lot. So if we look at the creators with the biggest market caps, we can see Anatoly, obviously the founder of Solana. Every one of his minutes is $33, and that gives a market cap of 3.3 million. Ansem number 2, $14 per minute, 1.4 million. I hold a bit of Ansem. The reason being is, obviously Ansem's really influential in crypto Twitter and the Solana space, but he's actually using this platform, and he's said repeatedly over the last year, if you want to contact me through Time.Fun, because then I know you're serious, essentially, and I don't have time to read all these messages. So he's actually using this platform organically. We can see Raj, all these really, really influential people in the Solana ecosystem are using this platform, as well as a lot of people aren't in the Solana ecosystem, just, like Amarath, I guess she's some streamer or something, so you could talk to her. It's like a kind of OnlyFans thing going on there, but you get the idea. So like I said, I still think it's super, super early. You're investing in the most scarce resource in the entire world. It has the backing of everyone important in Solana. They're actually all using it as well, and a number of them have talked about it a number of times. It's backed by Alliance DAO, one of the best investors in the Solana ecosystem. So I do think this is a narrative that could take off. To add to that, if it does take off, all of these minutes are going to go crazy in my opinion. But even just using the platform is going to be very, very beneficial because they've just released their points program. So there'll be an airdrops at some point. So if this does become a narrative, if this does start to take off and you've been using this platform, the airdrop's going to be valued quite highly. And all the minutes are going to explode as well. Am I 100% sure that's going to happen? No, of course not. It might not go anywhere. But if it does, I think the risk to reward is really, really good, like I keep saying. And I've mentioned Time.Fun a number of times over the last 6 months, so if any of you did try it out, you would have already received some points. But it's still really early. Again, not that many people are paying attention to this, so I think it's a very, very easy one to farm. And as you can see from, here's the criteria that they gave for the points that have already been distributed, and they're going to change this around over time. The team are really, really good. 0xCause, he's, this guy, the number 3 ranked person on Time.Fun by market cap. They've done a really, really good job with this platform, in my opinion, and I think they want to, it kind of seem like they want to give a nice airdrop, in my opinion, the way they've designed it so far. So there's a few creators that I hold. You can actually look at the people that I hold if you want. If you don't know any of the creators on there, you can see who I hold, but just have a small amount in there. But have a look yourself. You'll be able to spot that there's a lot of people who probably are undervalued for the actual value of their time. So if their time is actually valued at $200 an hour and they're trading at $20 an hour, obviously there's a discrepancy on the value there. So it's quite easy to see that a lot of this is fundamentally undervalued, in my opinion. On top of that, I do think this is completely underfarmed. If this does take off, you know, it will be a very tasty little airdrop. So if you do want to sign up and if you do want to use this project and you want to help me get like 20 cent worth of points, you can use my referral link in the description. That would be nice. And you can also buy my minutes if you wanted, because there's basically no downside, because I think I have one holder or something. So, you know, like, you're basically buying it at zero, so the downside is basically very little. You can just sell it for whatever you bought it for if you want. But, you know, obviously I'm not a big creator or whatever, so if you don't know who to buy, you can buy that, but it's probably not going to go to infinity. There's probably better people to buy on there, is what I'm saying. Alright, so that's a quick one on Time.Fun. Really hope you enjoyed the video, hope you learned something, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Cheers.